Mr. Speaker, every 44 seconds, a 2013 Ford Escape comes off the line at the Louisville assembly plant. The Escape's parts make their way along 20 miles of conveyors inside a 3 million square foot facility that stretches a mile from corner to corner. Inside that facility are more than 4,200 Louisvillians and a few Hoosiers operating state-of-the-art machinery capable of producing 6 different vehicles. Ford has a long and robust history in Louisville. The company has been manufacturing vehicles in Derby City since the Model T in 1913. The Louisville assembly plant opened in 1955, and since then has produced the Ford Ranger, the Bronco II, and the Explorer, to name just a few. Across town, the Kentucky truck plant has been operating since 1969, employs nearly 5,000 workers. For years, both plants thrived, and with them, families. Just recently, a woman who now works at Ford told me that her dad had worked there for 50 years. Stories of Ford careers that span lifetimes and generations aren't rare in Louisville. There are fathers and daughters who have built careers side by side on the line. But by 2008, the Louisville assembly plant was outmoded and the U.S. economy was in crisis. The plant's future was clouded with uncertainty. Workers came to work every day not knowing whether their jobs would be there tomorrow. Ford needed to innovate. It needed to produce vehicles that the American people could afford, that were sleeker and more fuel efficient, and that met a changing desire among car buyers who wanted more dynamic, economical vehicles. But the company needed a financial bridge to do it. In Congress, I worked to include the Advanced Technology Vehicles Manufacturing Loan Program in the Energy and Independence and Security Act of 2007. Ford received a $5.9 billion loan through the program, which allowed the company to invest $600 million in the Louisville assembly plant and to remap their future. In 3 years, the Louisville assembly plant has gone from uncertainty to a complete retooling. Last month, I was proud to join Ford officials and hundreds of workers to unveil what is now the biggest and most flexible high-volume Ford plant in North America. The plant has added more than 3,000 jobs, and the increases in production have led to thousands more at suppliers, of which there are 500 for the new Escape model alone. Ford also worked with the UAW to renegotiate its contract and add a 3rd shift at the plant. By the end of this year, the company will employ more than 8,000 people in Louisville. The positive relationships forged between organized labor and Ford in Louisville should serve as a model of compromise and cooperation for the rest of the nation. The Escape is a success story of American ingenuity and innovation for the private sector, for organized labor, and for the federal government. And it's a victory for Kentucky. Ford's new investments at the Louisville assembly plant and the Kentucky truck plant are expected to contribute more than $800 million to our Commonwealth's GDP. Let's be clear. This happened because of the leadership at Ford, UAW, and our unparalleled workforce. But none of it would have been possible without key government investments to advance large-scale innovation. There were some who said we should let the auto industry fail. In Louisville, that would have meant putting thousands of Ford workers out on the street. It would have meant that the thousands of workers at supply companies who provide parts for the new Escape would have been updating their resumes instead of assembling Ford's newest, most advanced models. And it would have been an admission that in America, our best manufacturing days are behind us. We're proving that wrong every day in Louisville and across the country. Over the past 28 months, American manufacturers have created nearly 500,000 jobs. That's the strongest period of growth in manufacturing employment since 1995. And it's because we are using strategic federal investments to spur innovation and leverage private sector investment. Just this month, the AP reported that Ford Motor Company's sales rose 7% in June. The reason? Strong demand for the new Escape, which is selling at a higher rate than ever before. There are still plenty who say government is part of the problem, not part of the solution. But since at least the 1940s, we have known and generally acknowledged that the market cannot do it all on its own, and there is a role for government in pursuing short and long-term economic growth and prosperity in this country. You can find it in Louisville. Our workers, Ford, and government partners, federal, state, and local, have shown just how successful we can be working together to build the vehicles of the future and the innovations that keep our city and our country on the leading edge of manufacturing. I yield back.